It just makes me giggle. So, hello everyone. Hello. Mark Stay here. Welcome to Mark Stay's Creative Differences, a monthly live stream where I talk to writer friends about those little things that make a big difference to their craft and careers, in the hope that we can give readers some insight to the creative process, and writers and other creative folk some practical advice that they can actually use. I'm Mark Stay, author, screenwriter and podcaster, and if you're joining us live, feel free to ask questions in the comments and take part in the conversation. A big thank you as always to Dominic Currie for his jingle, which has a Star Wars theme today. He puts the little alien at the end. We'll probably get sued by Lucasfilm, but it was worth it. Thank you, Dom. Thank you so much. And but first, before we get started, this podcast is a year old.
It's your birthday.
A year ago, I was chatting to the lovely Steve Gowland about his fantasy fiction with a vague plan that I might do this once a month and have a laugh with some author friends, and that we all might be able to learn something along the way. And, you know, it seems to have worked. So my question to you, good people, is should I keep going? Should I keep going? I'm not fishing for flattery or anything. You know, I'm not a desperate, fragile ego. But, you know, do you think I should keep going? My guest is the author of the best-selling After the Storm, which I read, and it is just a proper page-turner. I mean, I could not read it quickly enough. And also, Into the Fire. I've got my hot little hands. See what I did there? Which I haven't read yet. Sorry, I haven't read it yet. But I have serious FOMO for everyone who has read it, because people are saying this is just, you know, book thrill of the year. He's genuinely one of the nicest guys in the business with an extraordinary tale to tell. It's only that GD, right? Gary, welcome to the Creative Differences podcast. How are you today, sir?
I'm good. Can I have that jingle?
Of course. Yes, let's bring you on stage. 3, 2, 1. Hello. He runs into the flames a hero. He emerges from the ashes a suspect. Tell us more about Into the Fire.
You know what? I'd love to claim credit for it, but I didn't actually make that up. As you're probably aware, I mean, we send these books off to our editors, and they come back with this fantastic blurb. And I've got to say, it was my old editor at Avon, Rachel Hart, who came up with that tagline. And you know, when you see something, you think, yeah, I'll have a bit of that. That's pretty good, that is. So yeah, I can't claim any credit for it. I will, but I can't. It's a book set in the same fictional town as my first book, After the Storm, and we follow a local man, Steve Minchin, who lives a nice, quiet life with his family until he performs, you know, one of those acts of heroism that we'd all love to boast about. Yeah. You know, he runs into a burning building, he saves a baby from it. But unfortunately, in the era of camera phones and Twitter and socials and everything else, it's sort of live streamed and it's immediate news, isn't it? That's the era that we live in now, the generation we live in. Everything is in your face and it's there straight away. So the next morning, it's all over the national media, you know, local hero saving a baby, and he's fated as that, a national hero. But with the acclaim comes scrutiny, and a dark past is slowly revealed.
You might not have come up with a shout line, but you came up with the concept. And you know, your book, your first book, definitely, you know, After the Storm, which I devoured, absolutely devoured. Twist and turny, keeps you guessing. Literally to the very last page. I don't want to say anything, but last page was one of those oh my god moments where it's like genius, absolute genius. What's your process for something like this? Are you starting at the back and starting at the end and working backwards from there, or are you surprising yourself?
No, I'm a
pantser? How does it work?
Pantser. I don't know how you write, Mark, but I'm such a pantser. So I a pantser and a planner. You know, planners will write down their chapter plans and you know the intricacies of what's going to happen, characters, dialogue, and everything in their mind or on paper from the start to the finish. Whereas I haven't got a clue what's going to happen. It's brilliant. I can remember in the first book, someone died. Like, that wasn't meant to happen, but it did.
Yeah,
it's just the way it happened, you know. But I am totally a pantser. But it does give you nightmares sometimes because you know you'll be writing and then you're thinking, don't actually know where this is going. But for every book I've written, and I've actually written 6 now, you know, they're not all published yet, obviously. But I've actually written 6, and in every single one of them, there was a eureka moment where everything sort of slotted together. I don't know how, and I don't know why, But yeah, it's I don't know, and it normally happens in the middle of the night, so you're having to reach for your phone and
Yes.
get the notes app up, or leave yourself a voice memo, and yeah, but yeah, that's how I write anyway.
Anne Jones is joining us live. She says, fantastic read, all caps. A
Yeah.
proper, if you read just one book this year book. Fantastic. Thank you, Anne.
Thank
Now,
you, Anne.
when you look at when you open up Into the Fire, it starts by describing the first 4 stages of a fire, which I found was fascinating, which is ignition, growth, fully developed, decay. And that comes from the National Fire Protection Association. And of course, my writer mind is going, ignition, growth, fully oh, is that something that you knew? Did it come from research? And then I look at that thinking, is there a structure to that? Does that work thematically? Did it influence the story? Talk about that front piece.
Simple answer, no. I it came. So any body of work, any essay, any film, any book, anything generally has 3 parts, doesn't it? We have the opening, we have the main part, and then we have the conclusion. And that sort of worked for this. Obviously we're talking about the fire having 4 stages, but the first 3 were pretty, clear cut for me. I could put this in that category, that there, and then just add the epilogue as the last bit, the decay bit, which doesn't actually suit what happens in the epilogue, but I won't go any further than that because it's not decay.
No.
It's hope, it's optimism. It's honestly, it's all that. But in terms of when I sort of came upon that idea, it was actually at the very last stage. It was at the copy edit stage. It was, it was. So I had the book written out, and in my mind there was a defined beginning, middle, and end. But it was only when I was doing a bit of digging and thought I'd like something a bit different, something that structurally separates things, so you can, rather than just having part 1, part 2, part 3, or beginning, middle, end. I came across that. I thought that's absolutely perfect. I really like that, and it worked for me.
Authors will often talk about second book syndrome, and of course, After the Storm was such a smash. Everyone was talking about it. It was just, I mean, where were you on Into the Fire? I think probably you would have written it, but you might have been in copy edits or something. Was there any feeling of, I've got to follow that at any point?
After the Storm, I self-published back in 2020 or 2021.
Right.
So yeah, it was called A Parent Apart back then, and it was quite a weird way of getting published. So I self-published it as A Parent Apart, and it was just an itch to scratch. During COVID, during lockdown, a lot of people turned to writing, and I was one of them. I was self-isolating because of my heart. And I just thought, I fancy writing a book. I always say it was almost a chip on my shoulder because I didn't go to university, and I really wish I'd gone to university. So I thought, well, what can I do that would not elevate me to where my peers are at, but to do something that sort of stands out. So it was a bit of a chip on the shoulder. I self-published it and didn't expect anything from it. It was just a fun thing to do when the world had gone mad, and you couldn't go out. And I actually got optioned. The book got optioned by the production company I'm working with on several bits, and that sort of gave me that little bit above the parapet. I always say to people, it's so hard these days to firstly get an agent, because how do you stand out in a crowd of thousands? You have to have just that one thing that puts your head slightly above the parapet, slightly above everyone else. And I think that's what it was for me, just having that option agreed. So I got an agent, and then, with the agent, you think, well, hey, I'm about to be a millionaire author. And it doesn't happen. It takes forever then to get a book deal. But my route to being published was, traditionally published, when I say published, was a bit different to the standard write a manuscript, get an agent, get a publishing deal, and then get published. It was just a little bit different to that.
You self-published, had a different title, A Parent Apart.
Yeah.
Then you got an option. Is that a film option?
Yes. Well, it started as film. It's moved to TV, but yes.
TV. Okay, but they've optioned the screen rights.
Yeah.
Then you use that as leverage to get an agent.
Pretty much.
Fantastic. I love it. That's brilliant. That's the way to do it, isn't it?
And if I've got any leverage I can use, you can guarantee I'll use it.
Yeah. Well, that's I mean, that's so nice to hear because, many of us authors are quite introverted and, we don't want to boast or anything, but and we don't want to, "Oh, I've got a book. Can you please read my book, please?"
Read my story?
I'm sorry, my lawyer advised me not to look at unsolicited work.
Whereas if you go in there, kick the door down and go, I've got a TV show, publish me.
When I was trying to get author quotes for the first book for After the Storm, I would literally just slide into the DMs of pretty much any author going. And I mean, quite a few said yes, I was very lucky. But obviously no one knew who I was. They're probably thinking, who is this jumped up little oik trying to get a quote for a book? But it worked in some cases. I think the first one was my good friend Jackie Kabler. She's brilliant. And Jackie was the first one. She still laughs about it now, about how I slid into her DMs.
You don't have to make it sound like that. But that's the thing. That's the thing, though. If you don't ask, you don't get, do you?
Exactly.
Were you feeling any pressure with the second book, having had such a hit with the first one?
No, I mean, genuinely no. I had other things on my mind anyway when it was coming around to publication, as you're well aware.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't. I just enjoy the whole process, to be honest. And I love doing it. And if you find something you love doing, generally I don't feel pressure. I'd feel pressure if I was in a job that I hated and had to perform in, if that makes sense, because like you're then under pressure to perform and you're hating what you do. But no, doing something I love, and I absolutely love it. I just love sitting in front of my computer and writing, whether it's as with you, whether it's screenplays or novel writing or just writing an article or anything. I just love pen on paper.
Let's talk about joining the police force at 18. You didn't go to university. I didn't go to university. I don't have a chip on my shoulder. I have a deep fat fryer full of chips on my shoulder. But you joined the police at 18. Did you have any ambitions to write back then? Was it something you were doing back then?
My mum and dad were going through their loft a few years ago, and they were, we've got your English book or your maths book from 1994. I mean, why do we need all this garbage up in our loft? Which is a fair comment. But yes, I pulled down about 20 years worth of like absolute rubbish. But in amongst the rubbish, there were some diamonds. And one of them was an anthology that I'd done when I was about 9 or 10 years old. And it was all full of like poems and short stories. And I know it's brilliant. I've got it somewhere. I've actually shared it on my Instagram before. And I can remember writing in it. I remember writing, this by Gary Wright, aged either 9 or 10. I can't remember what it was. And it said, "This will be the last thing I ever write." It was the original mic drop moment.
Yeah. This is my genius. Still with it. Yeah.
But yes,
Your peak.
In answer to your question, I think I've always loved writing, but you just don't find time, do you, when like real life takes over? But I'm very privileged and fortunate that I can do it full time now. So I'm very lucky in that regard.
But it was lockdown. It was lockdown was the moment where you thought, okay, time to knuckle down.
Yeah, I mean, so I left. I'm sure we'll talk about the health and stuff later, but I left the police when I was 29. I retired, and we bought a coffee shop in Ramsgate Harbour, and I loved it down there, mate. We'd work for 6 months, or not even that, 4 or 5 months, and then have the rest of the year off. So you'd work the peak months of summer, and then just have the winters off. It was brilliant. But then the kids came along and sort of spoiled it, like kids do.
They do that. Yeah.
They wanted to see us in the summer. I mean, could you imagine that?
The nerve!
I know. But no, so we wanted to see the kids. Obviously, it's summer months are special months, and you only get 18 summers with your kids. So we sold the shack, and then it just everything. My life's been strange in so many ways because I've had so much bad health, but everything seems to have then become rosy. It's so hard to quantify or explain. A falling on my feet is I think the best way to say it in so many ways. I sold the shack and then got a writing career, which is just something, it's just so out there. Turned out I had a genetic condition called arrhythmogenic right ventricular cardiomyopathy, but it's the disease that you see when a footballer just drops dead on the football pitch.
Oh God!
It's that disease. So I was very lucky to have it diagnosed, and secondly, still be alive as a result of it. Those collapses could very easily have been fatal. And so I had to retire from the police, and I've got scars all over me now where I've had various procedures and defibrillators and ICDs and pacemakers and whatnot, and all that put in me. But I don't know. You just become aware of your own mortality. I mean, being in the police, you're dealing with death every day. You're dealing with. I was a coastal police officer, so you're dealing with people who jump off cliffs and drownings in the sea, and suicides are very sadly 10 a penny. But also in amongst that, you've got your regular deaths that police attend anyway. Just your not suspicious deaths necessarily, but just unexplained deaths and things like that. But all of that you're detached from, and when it affects you directly, it's like, oh shit, that's me, that's real life. And that took a while to sort of get my head around. Really did, mate. It threw me for quite a while. And I mean, I'm still on anxiety tablets now. I'm quite open about that. There's no shame in it. And it all stems from there. And then we had the kids, and because it's genetic, you're worried about where it's going to go and how it's going to impact the kids. I mean, our kids, fortunately, are okay. It's a long story, but the basics of it are that I got one dodgy gene from my mum and one dodgy gene from my dad, and those two sort of one triggered the other and brought out the disease in me. But both of my children, fortunately, have both got the non-disease causing genes. They've got one of the bad genes, but it's not a disease causing gene.
Wow.
So it's fascinating, mate. It's absolutely fascinating. I mean, they're under Great Ormond Street till they're 18, so they receive great care, and then they'll be transferred to my hospital, St Bartholomew's in London. And it's the more, again, people say, well, how do you cope with it? And I say, well, I know what's wrong with me. You probably don't know what's wrong with you. So the more you dig, the more you find. I retired from the police and bought the coffee shop, and we did that for 8 years. So
you mentioned screenwriting. You mentioned TV and movies and things. So let's talk about Breathe Deep, which originally I think was called Beast of War. So
no,
this
Beast
is from
of War is a different one. So Cornerstone are actually
is it?
Yeah, Cornerstone are running 2 shark films. Sorry, not a shark film, survivalist thriller.
Right, okay. So I thought it was a title change. Tell me about both then. So we've got Beast of War and Breathe Deep.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Beast of War. I just know Cornerstone are running it as as another project. But yeah, so
so you don't have anything to do with that one?
Not Beast of War, no.
Oh, right, okay.
No.
Right, I'm confused.
Shark films. I'll tell you what it was. So my good friend James Kermack, who was the chap who actually optioned A Parent Apart back in the day, he came to me and said, "Look, the market's crying out for shark films. Completely random. Should we write one?" Yeah, why not? So we did. And you know what it's like. You get so many ideas and you write so many different things. And what do you reckon? 1 in 10, 1 in 15 might get picked up.
Well, with that.
This one, sounds good. So Cornerstone took it on for sales. Cornerstone, nice, huge company.
Well, they did Unwelcome. They were the sales company.
Of course they did. Yes, you told me this. Yeah. So they took it on for sales, and by all accounts, done very well. And we are, all being well, filming next month out in Turks and Caicos. Hurrah!
Wow!
Yeah.
Wow! Sorry, filming where?
Oh, just in the Caribbean, darling. Turks and Caicos.
Oh.
Never set your films in Skegness. Nothing wrong with Skegness. Sorry, not Skegness.
No, but this is why Michael Caine did Jaws: The Revenge. He opened it up and it said exterior the Caribbean. He said, "I'm in."
I mean,
didn't
he say it bought his mum a house or something like that? There was something.
I used to live near it in Leatherhead. We used to see his house all the time. It's massive, absolutely massive. So it's funny you say that. I mean, John,
I'm just a bit scared. I've got to rewind because I've just slagged Skegness off, and I've never been there, and I feel really bad.
Skeggy's used to it. Don't worry. Don't worry. No, because John and I were working on the TV idea, and I said, "Why don't we just set it on a tropical island?"
Absolutely.
And he was like, "Because he likes scuba diving." He was like, "Yeah, why not?" And it's in development. So it's think about these things. It is in, because the worst words you can write. I did this on Unwelcome. Are exterior, night, and rain in the slug line. The whole crew hates you then. because they have to get up. They're working all night. Luckily for us, we did it all inside. But so you're shooting in the Caribbean, but also Pinewood as well. So you're going to be visiting. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to be visiting the set, or
yeah. I sent a begging email to the boss at the production company saying, you love me, and I love you, and any chance Turks maybe? Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, you got to do it. You got to do it.
We have.
Yeah, we did for Robot Overlords. We did a day of pickups at Pinewood, but they did a lot of the post production there. So I got to visit, and you're walking down Goldfinger Avenue, and there's the Bond stage, and
I can't wait.
If you're there, if you're there when it's quiet, you feel like you own the place. You feel like king of the world.
Brilliant. So James he's been there quite a bit recently, and he's been sending me all these videos because we're using the tank there. They've got a big water tank, and James has been sending me all the shots of him in this because we're using old deep sea diver stuff. And he sent me this video yesterday of him, and I could see his face getting sort of more and more scared. And I said, "Was it a bit claustrophobic in there?" And I can't read his reply out because there was a bit of swearing.
No, there
might be children. He did get a bit claustrophobic in the helmet.
People be listening to this again. You jammy sod! How did you manage to do this?
So it is a lot of it is just right place, right time, and I can't say any more than that. There's people out there way more talented than me that never get a shot, and I know because I've genuinely, Mark, I've like one of my friends. She's been trying to get published for forever, and I've read her books and they're brilliant, but it's just so hard, as I was saying earlier, to stand out. Much better than what I can do.
Yeah.
But I was just in the right place at the right time, and it's true.
Are her books set in Skegness though? Is that the rookie era?
I love Skegness. I ever talking about Skegness. I love Skegness. Oh God, sorry, Donna's.
We've got a comment. Now, you tell me, is Luton better or worse than Skeggy?
No comment.
Yeah, no, I had a pop at Luton in my last thing, so I'm not going to do it in this one.
I must shout,
but no,
the guys I work with at is Futuristic Films. Brilliant, mate. Absolutely brilliant. They're professional, but
let's unwrap it. Let's unwrap it. How did you make the connection? How did it all come about?
That was it's a brilliant story. So where we had the shack, I was selling copies of A Parent Apart. Myself published.
Really?
I was selling copies at the shack. Yeah, I sold quite a few down there. And one of my customers, regular, recognised him, but enough to say, "Hello, mate. All right. What do you want?" I can't remember what he used to have actually. He'd have what did James have? He would have had a frappe with ice cream. Definitely a frappe with ice cream. And he saw it one day,
and you're the one with the heart condition.
Yeah. Oh, no, he would, not me, him.
Yeah.
Just match the tea for me, darling. But he picked up a copy of the book and it was just another customer buying a copy of the book, and he came back a week later and went, "Reg book, loved it. I want to option it." What does option it mean? And that's the story. So he just, he'd moved down from London with his wife, and I don't know if they'd had any children then actually. But they've got 2 lovely kids now, and they moved down to the coast from London. And he was partner at Futuristic, still is. He's the creative director and all that. And he just read the book via the shack and optioned it sort of on the spot. And it was it's just brilliant. I didn't know what it meant, but it was great. So I really like that story.
You put the work in, you made the book as it possibly could be. He's not going to option a book if it's pants, all right? So you wrote a good book. That isn't luck, that is hard graft. Then you had this entrepreneurial thing I'm going to sell it off my coffee stand. Now, I know there are people who might think, oh no, it's mixed messages. Should I do this? Do I have the right to do this? But you did it, So I think, hats off to you. It's, you've got to take every opportunity that comes along. Because the universe isn't waiting for you to write this book. You've got to put it out there, haven't you?
Yeah. I mean, life doesn't present itself to you on a plate, does it? You've got to go out and get it.
No, absolutely. Well, look, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Bear with us.
Jingle.
Bring you back in a minute. Shall I put the jingle back for you? You want the jingle? Don't you? Okay,
yeah.
Let's bring the jingle back. I have it on a loop for you. There we go. Twice a month, I run live sessions on Zoom where you can ask me questions about the craft of writing, your work in progress, or the business of publishing. The sessions are fun, informal, chatty. You can send me questions in advance. It's recorded and we save it on Ko-fi. I'm doing all this through Ko-fi for exclusive access to Green Room supporters. So we'll pop a link in the Green Room there. There we go, kofi.com/MarkStaveWriter. Come and find me on there. And I'll pop it in the show notes if you're listening back to the podcast. So I'm running this through Ko-fi. You can join by clicking on the Green Room membership. It's £20 a month. That's all it is. 2 sessions a month. There's no long-term commitment. And so you can just do a month or a couple of months as long as you like. But frankly, everyone who signed up at the start is still with me now, which is really good. And my goal is to be able to give supporters advice that will make a real difference to their writing and career. Because the way I see it, having worked in this industry as a salesperson, bookseller, author for over 30 years, I've made every mistake, so you don't have to. We've got some cracking people in this. Here are a few current Green Room members. So we've got Wendy Gedney, whose book The French Bed has come out just this week. It's a romance mystery set in Languedoc and Paris. And I've read, because she's been a Green Room member, I've read bits of this and critiqued it. It is absolutely brilliant. It's really, really good. So check out Wendy's new book. We've got Max Elwood is a member. He writes these fantastic thrillers about this journalist who returns to Southend. Really sort of think Ian Rankin, but in Essex. It's really, really good. It's terrific. And Max is there with us. Phil Oddie, who is challenging me to do more Comic Cons this year than I am. Fantastic science fiction author, really nice guy as well. Such a wise mind too. And Fee Phillips, author of the Haven Chronicles. So these are fantasy, epic stuff. She's such a good writer. So those are the kind of people that you'll be joining twice a month. So check us out. Pop along to the Green Room, £20 a month, and I'll see you there hopefully. I've got books. You can buy my books. You can buy them all from all good bookstores, of course. But if you want signed and dedicated copies, you can come straight to my store at witchesofwoodville.com. Now, let me just talk about this seriously for a moment. Thanks to the tariffs brought in by the Fanta Fura, I'm going to have to pause shipping to the USA until it becomes clear what the situation is. I got a thing from the Royal Mail recently saying, as it stands, it looks like any orders to the States are going to be subject to tariffs that you, the American consumer, will have to pay. You can still get my stuff from Amazon, American friends, but if you want signed paperbacks from me, you might have to wait for a while. I'm going to see, we'll see. I think the thing is there's so much uncertainty. I don't want to send you something and then you end up getting 100% tariff on top of that or whatever. So we'll check that out. Keep watching, keep watching this, subscribe to my newsletter, keep an ear open. I'll let you know when it all sorts itself out. But yeah. We got regular questions here, Gaz.
Whoa. I think you need a book tour of America, mate.
If you do, can I come with?
Yeah.
No. If you do, maybe. Can I come with?
Yeah. Well, you know what? We had Sarah Pimber on a few months ago, and she's done a couple of them now, and it's not as glamorous as you might think it is. It's a lot of work. It's exhausting.
I see Lisa Jules, bless her, when she's doing it, and it was literally hotel, plane, signing. Hotel, plane talk, hotel, plane signing. So yeah. I mean, I'd do it. Avon.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Avon, if you want to send me out there, I'd love to go and do
it. What small thing has made a big difference to your creative process?
That's a good question. I suppose so. I realising that writing's like a habit. So I liken it to going to the gym. If I go to the gym and I get into the habit of it, bang on it, mate. I can do it 5-6 days a week, no probs. Yeah. If I stop, then going to the gym is an absolute pain in the backside, isn't it? Can't be bothered. I'll find any excuse not to do it. And writing's pretty much the same for me. So treating it as a habit, even if you write 200 words in a day, 2,000 words in a day, and then you bin it, at least you've written something and you're in the habit of doing it. That's probably I reckon that works for me.
You've just summed up 450 episodes of the bestseller experiment in about 30 seconds there. Love it. Fantastic. It took us years to figure that out, Gary. But yeah, that's perfect. Thank you. What's the thing that makes you think you're ready to start writing on a project?
Sleepless nights?
Oh, really? Keeps you
Yeah.
up?
So, like, imagine you got the seed of an idea in your head, and then you're lying there, and I always play word association games in my head to try and get to sleep because I've tried everything.
Really?
Genuinely, that's what sends me to sleep. It's really weird. But yeah, I'll play word association games, and then my mind will shift to, oh, that's a good start to a book, isn't it? And then, what if that happens? And then, that could happen too. And then it's 5 o'clock in the morning, you've had no sleep, and the kids are coming in saying, right, let's go and play all day now. Hey, brilliant. I think, sleepless night. What? Yes, I like that. Sleepless nights. There you go. That's when you're ready to start writing.
How do you know when you're done?
I'm never done. That's the trouble. I'm a tinkerer. So
Right.
that's why deadlines are good for me, because I will just sit and play with something until the words are just letters on a piece of paper rather than like sentences. I don't see sentences, I see letters, and just get rid of it, because I will just tinker until the deadline. So for example, book 3, I wrote it ages ago, but I've gone through and given it a good structural edit with my editor, and she gave me a really long lead date. To be fair to her, it was really good because of all the health issues over the summer. She gave me until the 1st of September, but I finished it about 2 weeks ago, and then I was just sitting there every day just like messing around with it, and sometimes messing around is not good, is it?
No, sometimes it's best left alone. Yeah,
I sent it off early, and I think when I get to the tinkering stage, that's when I know that I'm done. When I'm just like changing words for the sake of it, and just mixing up dialogue and whatnot. That's when I'm done, I think.
But that first book, where there was no deadline, there's no editor breathing down your neck. How did you know when you'd done that?
Oh, I finished that in 2 months because I had all day.
What?
I had all day every day to write. I just I don't know. I wrote every day. When you think about it, it's like 1,500 words a day, isn't it? Which for me isn't. If I'm on a good day, I do 3,000 or 4,000 words.
Right.
It doesn't mean I keep.
You're one of those.
No, it doesn't mean. Gillian McAllister's the worst. You know what she does?
No, go on.
She writes a book and then she deletes it and writes it again.
What? Yeah, that's insane.
Right.
I can't. I don't have any truck with that.
She's not done bad, though, is she?
No, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, she genuinely, she'll write a first draft. I don't know, 80,000 words, 90,000 words. I don't know what her sort of length is, and then she'll delete it and write it all again. I remember I did a Facebook Live with her on the UK Crime Book Club last year, and she said it, and my mouth sort of hit the floor. Like, what? Yeah. But what? But she does. It works for her. She writes brilliant books and sells millions. So go for it.
Clearly knows her stuff.
I didn't do that. I can remember once I'd done about 2,000 words in a day, and then I don't know if you use MacBook, but I got the spinning circle on the MacBook. I couldn't retrieve it. Lost it.
Oh no!
I was devastated. Someone nearly passed out. What with Gillian?
That's Bill. Bill's a great writer. He's it's
crazy, but it works for her, and everyone everyone has their own process. Creative differences. That's what you do. Yeah. But you should get her on it. She talks to you all about it.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, we'll get her on. Well, she did. Was she the Honest Authors podcast? Which
with
Holly. They're
Seddon.
not doing anymore. Holly Seddon. Yeah. No, we definitely have to get her on. How do you remember that idea you have at 3 a.m? You either don't sleep or put it on the notes app. But is that's when your mind is buzzing? Is it?
Yeah, iPhone notes. I've got I had to make a folder the other week because my notes was just like shopping list, idea, random lists of people's names. Don't know what it's for. Like lists of money. I wish I had the amount of money that I had on my notes. And just I got some randoms. Let me find a random note. Let's see what I've got on here. It's really interesting. Isn't it interesting going through your phone?
Bring it.
This one, you like this one? Please can they bring in some Marks and Spencer's katsu chicken sushi? I don't know why that's in my notes, but what's the date of that one? 25th. That's when I was in hospital. So
Okay, yeah, yeah.
I remember that now. I couldn't talk. Talking hurt. So I typed it out on my phone and gave it to my mum or
Oh.
my mum and my sister and asked them to get names. How very middle class of me. That's middle class for me. Please can they bring in some Marks and Spencer's katsu chicken sushi? Because one is rather poorly. One is craving some katsu chicken sushi, but only from M&S.
This is a bit of a, not a name drop exactly, but we went to a screening of Robot Overlords at BAFTA in Piccadilly. And my son came out and he was 10 years old. And he came out and we went, right, sushi. And I looked at him and said, who are you?
It's because he'd seen
Daddy,
a sushi.
What have I brought into the world? Oh, Papa, to the sushi bar. What?
I think it's because he'd seen an Itsu across the road.
Sorry?
It's because he'd seen an Itsu
Itsu across the road, yeah.
Please, can you have that as a new feature of your podcast? Get him just read out a random note from their iPhone.
You know what? I might nick that. That's a good one. That's a good one. What's the biggest mistake you've ever made in your writing career?
Ooh, there's a saying there, isn't there? Nothing's a mistake if you learn from it. But I'm full of them. If you ask my sister, I've got lots of old sayings. Private joke, she'll get it. No, I think probably thinking that you have to sell billions of copies in your first week to be successful. Because we're not all like Richard Osman or Gillian or Claire Douglas or they're all great people and great authors. They're in a different. It's not like there's league tables as such, but it's a marathon, not a sprint, and that's what my publishers, especially, are really geared towards. It's not about selling thousands in week one; it's about building a career rather than forcing a career. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Completely. I mean, I do a lot of Comic-Cons, and people will meet me for the first time, and as far as they're concerned, it's a new book. Publication date might have been 4 years ago or whatever, but as far as they're concerned, publication date is today. But I think we get so hung up on pub date. Yeah. What's the best happy accident of your writing career?
I can't talk about accidents around me. I think I was one. Sorry. Dad's watching. Hi, Dad. Love you.
Me too. Me too. I was as well. Yeah.
I don't suppose it's an accident, but maybe an accidental meeting. We got a brilliant WhatsApp group of authors. So there's, we got some wonderful people on there. I can't name them all because there's too many to name. But we all sort of fell into conversation at Harrogate, which is a big crime festival.
Oh yeah.
This was last year, and we're all thick as thieves now. We message every day, and one of them's got a book club actually today. Ruth Irons has got a book club for The Perfect Guest, 99p bargain. There you go. There's my plug done.
Excellent.
There you go.
Love it.
But yeah, so I don't think it's a happy accident, but we're all similar stages of career. We got people on there like Jackie Kabler, who sold millions of books, and then people at the start of their career like me, and a few others like Ruth and others as well. So it's a good mishmash of people. But yeah, so that's probably, I wouldn't say it's a happy accident, but meeting them was good, and that's the closest I think I can get to a happy accident. Right, if you want name dropping, I am doing a panel with Chris Chibnall, who created Broadchurch, and William Shaw.
And ran Doctor Who for a few years.
Yeah, I'm doing a panel with him. He's going to be my new best friend. He doesn't know it yet.
Well, you should. It's funny you should say, because a writer friend of mine, Joy Wilkinson, started out on radio, and she worked on something with Chris Chibnall, and she wrote a Doctor Who, and did a couple of other projects with him, and that certainly the TV film world. It's all about
so in all seriousness, his debut came out this year. It's called Death at the White Hart, and it flew. And it's already been tied in with ITV. There's probably a gig for me and you there, to be honest. Cheers, Chris.
Is there a character or a story swirling around in your mind that you want to write, but you're not quite ready to write it yet?
I think on the TV side, so I've got a really interesting TV project that's sort of simmering at the moment. It's not been signed, so I can't say anything about it. But it is relevant, and it is sort of in the public conscience at the moment. It's really interesting, and I can't wait to get stuck into it. Genuinely, I can't wait to see it start moving along. But I can't really say anything about it. But when that happens, that'll be really good. I'm really looking forward to that.
Fantastic. Richard Cave says, I have to be that guy. What biscuit do you rate as an author? Richard comes to all of these. He's obsessed with biscuits. Personally, it's the gold standard is the chocolate hobnob. But guys, tell us your biscuit of choice.
Fruit shortcakes or chocolate digestives?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Make a biscuit question a regular question.
My wife
with
is
tea.
With tea, yeah, definitely. My wife is the biscuit connoisseur, though. She will, yeah. I think she'd probably go custard cream.
Yeah, old school. Nice. Do you dunk? You a dunker?
Oh God, yeah.
Of course. Excellent.
Who wouldn't? What kind of heathen wouldn't dunk a biscuit?
Donna says, is there a scene, line, or moment in one of your books that you particularly love or are proud of
Yes.
that no one
Yes,
mentions?
Donna.
Oh,
there is.
great question,
I
Donna.
thought of this the other day. Right, so it's a line. It said I can't remember it now. It's the flames of love were being fanned by the winds of change. Now, if that's not literary, if that's not Booker Prize material, then what is? The flames of love were being fanned by the winds of change. Nah,
is it in this one? No,
it's not. It's in a not unwritten one yet. Unwritten, unpublished one. I love that line.
Has that gone in front of a copy editor yet?
Copyright GD right. No, it'll be chopped. Guarantee it'll be chopped.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Kill
Your darlings.
All of my literary prose gets thrown out straight away. It's like waffle, scrub, delete, get to the point.
Okay, Martin Dale says, which character do you relate to most and why?
So Martin is a friend of mine, and he took me on my very first family liaison officer deployment, which was a really interesting one. Yeah, we were police officers together, and Martin was a really experienced flow. So when I went on my first one, Martin took me along because it was a traveller family, and there was potential for it to all go completely wrong. One of the nicest guys, genuinely, you'll ever meet. And he'll hate me for saying this, but when I was ill in hospital, he made sure Nay got to take the kids out somewhere, sent money over for them to go and do it. So absolute legend of a bloke. Which character do I relate to the most and why? Good question. Probably not me. I don't really base them on me, but you'll recognise anyone who's worked with me, and Martin has, will recognise a lot of the characters that we write in terms of police stuff are composite. So, it's a little bit of someone, a little bit of someone else, and a little bit of someone else. So like DS Wilmot, for example, in the book, she does 50 different jobs that obviously 50 different people would do in real life, but you can't have 50 different characters in a book. So she's the composite of them. And, I see a lot of people I used to work with in Her, for example, completely didn't answer the question there. Politicians answer. Oh, thank you very much.
Very good. Very good. You'll go far. What's bringing you joy at the moment? I sent you this earlier today, I think, and you mentioned cooking.
Yep, cooking. Cooking. And that is basically a reenactment of me cooking.
For listeners on the podcast, this is the Swedish chef from the Muppets.
I love to cook. Nay hates it, so I get to do all the cooking. And we have a trade-off in our house, which is I do the cooking and she does everything else. So it works a treat for me.
That's fair enough. What's your signature dish? What's your
roast.
Your
roast every time?
Right. And
roast
the secret of a good roast? Secret of a good roast?
Potatoes. Good potatoes. As in, like, decent potatoes, King Edwards or something. Yeah, don't just go and get bog stand. Decent potatoes.
Yeah. Good.
Always.
Good answer. Especially from a Kentish man as well. Good spots around here. Yes.
Always
that's crucial, isn't it? Especially with like turkey and whatever, yeah.
And make your own Yorkshire puddings. They taste so much better than Aunt Bessie's.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, completely. Completely. Totally agree with that. And they come out like the size of a... Well, they look very much like the Swedish chef's hat. Like
a hat. It should be like a hat.
Yeah.
And yes, do you know what? So it's not a revival as such, but they're doing a Love Never Dies at the cinema. not a film, but I
Right.
think it's just a viewer doing a live
Yeah,
version
yeah,
of it
yeah.
on the stage.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd never actually bother because I love Phantom. It's one of my favourite musicals, and I thought I'm gonna have a
Right.
listen. It got absolutely panned when it came out. Do you remember Love Never Dies? It got absolutely slated, and I listened to the soundtrack, and it's bloody brilliant. It's really good. Like it's not Phantom good, but it's really good. So
Well, it's that thing. It's that sequel thing, isn't it? Even
it
Lloyd
is.
Webber has to,
I,
cope with the
I
sequel
think
thing,
people
doesn't
were
he?
expecting Phantom basically remade and better, and it's
Mm.
never going to be that. Nothing's ever going to be as good
No.
as Phantom of the Opera.
Well,
But
the
yeah,
thing
it's
is,
really
it's
good.
not a question. It's the emotional baggage you bring with it. So, I mean, I can talk about this from like the Star Wars prequels and sequels point of view. The first three films I associate with key moments in my childhood, and so then any new film can never live up to that. Never live up to that. So I mean, I'm wearing a Goonies shirt here. I saw Goonies when I was 12. I was on a soccer exchange in LA, and I was really homesick and lonely. Saw Goonies, 12 years old. Best film I'd seen in my life up to that point. I just laughed my ass off all the way through. It's that emotional baggage that you bring with it. So, but yeah, Love Never Dies. What track should we listen to on Love Never Dies? Is there any standout track for you?
There's a couple. Till I Hear You Sing, and hang on, I'm going to find the other one that I liked. So Till I Hear You Sing was one of them. Hang on, I've got it here somewhere. Till I Hear You Sing and Beneath a Moonless Sky. They're the two good ones. And Love Never Dies is, it's the headline one. And I do have a confession to make. Sorry, I know we're over time. I've never seen Star Wars, any of them. Sorry. Please don't hate me.
Don't apologize. It's either it's not your thing or you're in for the greatest treat ever.
I tried.
I envy
I did
anyone.
try.
I envy.
I tried, but I couldn't. I'm sorry. Please don't.
No,
hate me.
don't apologise. We can't all like this. This is one of the things you learn as an author: is we can't all like the same things. We can't all like, it's each their own, man. No, don't worry about it. No, Emily, we're never having him on the podcast again. Write that down. Alien Earth. Oh my God, this is so good. Noah Hawley, who makes a habit out of taking other people's already great works, see also Fargo and Legion, and he gives it a new and original spin. And he's also figured out that the original xenomorph is no longer scary. All right, we've got plushies and keyrings. Once you're on a keyring, you're no longer frightening. So he's invented all kinds of new and terrifying parasites. And the bit with the sheep on the last episode, I mean, that was gave me nightmares. It's genuinely good. Very different in tone. Fisk. The third season of Fisk is on Netflix in the UK. It's created by the comedian Kitty Flanagan, who you see there. It's set in a small family law firm in Melbourne. It's so funny, it's warm, and the character work in this show is just sublime. If you want to know how to write distinct characters that pop to life in moments, watch Fisk, take notes. Thank me later, you're in for a treat. The other thing I'm absolutely loving at the moment, and where is it? Here we go. I managed to get a proof copy of C.K. McDonald's new one, Ring the Bells. Just had it a couple of days, already halfway through it. This is Queeve McDonald, part of his Stranger Times series. He's one of those authors. He's like Gary. On the first page you're in good hands. And it's going to be so much fun. And hopefully get Queeve on the show later in the year. Maybe at Christmas. Who knows? He's got the big white beard. He'd be perfect for it. Absolutely loving that at the moment. That's out. When is it out? It says on the back here. It's out 9th of October. So that's coming pretty soon. And music-wise, Brett McKenzie, who you may remember from Flight of the Conchords. Brit Prisant. He's got a new album, Freak Out City, which reminds me, it's not a comedy album, but it has a great tone to it. Reminds me of people like Harry Nilsson, Supertramp, 10cc. Check out the title track first. Freak Out City is absolutely brilliant.
Oh, I saw my friend walking his dog. I said, how you doing, man? He said,
Now, I really hope you've enjoyed this episode of Creative Differences. You're going to find all the links we discussed in the show notes and on the episode's webpage at markstaycreativedifferences.com. Huge thank you to Emily for production assistance, and to Kai Newton for the edit, and to Dominic Currie for the jingle, which we've heard. Have we heard that enough? Let's have it one more time. Huge thanks as well to my guest Judy Wright, and to everyone who's joined us live tonight. If you listen to the audio podcast or rewatching this on Facebook or YouTube, thank you very much, but we really missed you. So you're more than welcome to join us next month. Speaking of which, next month's special guest is Lucy Strange on Tuesday, 23rd of September, 8 p.m. BST. Lucy is an award-winning children's author. Now, her books feel like classic children's literature, but they're written in a really accessible and engaging and modern style for today's younger readers. Now, more recently, she's collaborated with the artist Pam Smee on their spooky, funny new series, Lockett and Wild's Dreadfully Haunting Mysteries. They're terrific. She's often inspired by folklore, fairy tales. She combines history with magic and fantasy. You can see why I'm a fan, can't you? And also, before becoming a professional writer, Lucy worked as an English teacher. She's trained and worked as an actor. She narrates her own audiobook. She won an Audie Award for The Secret of Nightingale Wood. So, you see, after a year of this podcast, there's still plenty of amazing authors to discover and learn from. And I hope you can join us live Tuesday, 23rd of September, 8 p.m. BST. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, things like ratings, reviews, likes, shares, they all make a huge difference with those AI algorithms. But the most important thing you can do, please, 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 tell a friend about it. Tell a writer friend. Tell your writing group. Send them a link. Get them involved. Get them coming to the live shows. Word of mouth is the best marketing there is. Now, Gaz, I'm going to bring you back on. What's next? You mentioned more, but I know you've done a 2-book deal with Avon, so there's at least 2 more on the way. You did a copper with the first one. You did a firefighter with the second one. Paramedic for the third one? I mean, what's the pattern here?
Can't remember. Third one. I just finished it as well. Third one. Oh no, it's good. I like it. I should really. I wrote it. It is a diary type thing from the past.
Oh,
colliding.
really?
Yeah, diary in the past colliding with events in the present.
Excellent. Intriguing. Can't
Yeah.
wait. Absolutely can't wait. Fantastic.
That was good
Brilliant.
for off.
Well, thank you. It was very good. Yeah. Thanks so much for joining us. And thank you, everyone, joining us live today. And let's wrap things up. We've run over a little bit, but thank you so much. And we now have to wave at the camera like it's a 1970s, 1980s TV show. So let's all do that. Let's wave and say goodbye to the lovely people out there. Goodbye, everyone.